Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sofia and I'm an international student in Australia. I'm a medical student and I study in Melbourne, Victoria, or Geelong, Victoria, in Deakin University. So welcome back to my channel. Or for those of you who don't know me, I give medical student tips and I talk about my life as an international student in Australia. So after my video on types of classes in medical school, I decided to do a video about types of assessment in medical school. I think that's very interesting. So as far as I know, I passed my first year of medicine, so I've done all of the assessments well in the first year of medicine. So I'm gladly gonna share with you what are they like, and then later on I will give you some tips on how to improve on them. Okay, so let's go. Obviously, the first type of assessment is your end of year of exams. So your end of year exams are happening after every semester. So in a semester we had 2 blocks of content, for example, cardiorespiratory and renal-gastro. So after that you will have a big exam on those. And this year the exams were online, as you know, because of COVID, but usually they would be in person, and it's usually multiple choice questions and long answer questions. So you can really you have to really know the content because it's a long answer questions and you have to write out your response. So there you go. This is your end of semester exams. They are quite long. They run for like 2 or 3 hours. 2 hours is practical exam, which is basically your anatomy and histology questions, what you learned from your workshops. And the 3-hour one is the theoretical. So for example, your pathology, how the disease occurred, pharmacology, and they're usually 3 hours. So yeah, but they both have short answer questions and long answer questions. Next, we have mid-semester exams. So mid-semester exams is in the middle of your semester. So if you have 2 end-of-year exams, end of block exams, you have 2 mid-semester exams as well. So they're basically in the middle of the semester, and because we have 2 semesters, they are 2 mid-semester exams. Easy math, quick math. So yeah, and for those, they are run usually for 45 minutes. And they are also both short answer questions where you have to write out the answer, and short answer questions like MCQ, and long answer questions where you have to write out your answer. So these are your mid-semester exams, and they are usually based on the content which you learn from lectures and anatomy workshops, and they usually are not they're very heavy in terms of percentage, because they just look to see, they want to see how you're going in your in the content throughout the semester, because you just started, so they want to make sure you're all right. Yes, so these are your mid-semester exams. What else do we have? Then we also have essays, a lot of essays for blocks such as ethics and law. We have probably like 2 essays a semester, and they are based on lectures and what we've been taught. They just want us to research and see what we understood and how well can we talk about the issue. Next on, we've got other essays. We also have assessments essays on public health, because we have public health topics that talk about healthcare system, that talk about preventative medicine. So in first year of medicine, we've done a lot of essays on public health and how to, for example, prevent certain disease. We needed to discuss and research that. But also for public health medicine topic. We also had to do statistical analysis and critical appraisal assignment. So we needed to look at the studies and critically appraise them. So critical appraise means basically to see how they are they statistically significant or not. So these are your assignments slash assessments. And next we have TBLs. TBLs are basically like quizzes for public health medicine topic as well, and a short essay, which I already talked about. So in TBLs, you have first attempt as an individual and then as a group with your PBL group. Then you tackle the questions, and then your both individual and group marks collide and combine for your mark. So these are very low in percentage as well, so I didn't really stress over them too much, but it's good to know the content. Next, you have your clinical skills assessment. So because you are trained to be a doctor, it's not only about the theory, but it's also about how well you interact with patients, how well you can do certain procedures. But in first year of medicine, you just assess in terms of how you interview the patient and get that first contact with the patient. So we were doing this all online. We were doing assessments on interviewing and getting the history from the patient in the first year of medicine in my university, but we were doing it like a telehealth. So the patient was calling us and we needed to get all the relevant information about the complaint that he or she is presenting with. So we needed to do that online. And we had that twice a year for every semester as well. First we had to do history, and then the second was getting the information from the patient. And then in second year of medicine, I believe the assessments would be all the same, but in second year you also get OSCEs. So OSCEs is basically also your clinical skills assessment, but it's not only about just taking the history. It's also about your clinical skills as a physical examination and other skills that you were taught, for example, taking a blood, dressing the wound, so all the clinical skills that you were taught for 2 years, and that you assessed in second year. And this year, the second years were assessed online. I don't know how they were assessed actually. We weren't, because it's done in second year, but hopefully next year it's going to be on campus and it's going to be a bit easier than they were doing it, because their way sounded very complicated. So yes, so those are OSCEs. They're quite important in every university, and in Australia they're very popular and they're going to be almost in every university, but it will just depend in which year are you going to do them. Are you going to do them in first or second year? And there are many ways to prepare for it, but this is probably a topic for the next video on how to prepare for every assessment there is in medical school. And I forgot about one more assessment. You have clinical skills assessment, and you have clinical skills report, clinical placement report. So in my last video, I told about that we go on placements twice a semester, and after that we would have to write a report in terms of what we experienced as a doctors, what was good, what was bad, what's kind of feedback, and how it can help us in our future learning. So this year, because we didn't go to hospitals, we had to watch videos of doctors performing the work through TV shows and other YouTube videos, and we had to reflect on it. So it's also sort of essay, but it's more of reflective essay, and they're usually 2,000 words. So as you can see, throughout the semester you have a lot of essays, assignments, clinical skills. So it's like really full-time education, and you have to constantly keep track of every single one of them, not to miss them, and prepare for every single one of them. But in the end of the day, it's very fun and I like learning, so I hope you do too, and I hope that you like this video and find it helpful, because next video is going to be about how to prepare for them, and I'm sure this is going to be very interesting. So please follow my channel for more videos. I'm releasing them twice a week, and yeah, I'll be very glad for your feedback and comments below. So see ya.